Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Thursday, January 20th. I've got your top stories here from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. These are the stories that all of you are clicking on here in Northeast Ohio. Let's start first with the winter weather advisory. This is for Cuyahoga, Summit, Medina, and Geauga counties. Now, this goes through early Friday morning, goes through 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So what this means is that the areas in these counties could have potentially another inch to several inches of snowfall. We are being told to tell you to please travel with caution. Lake effect snow could create drastic changes in visibility very quickly. Also, conditions are already slick because we did just have that big winter storm. So allow for extra time tonight for your commutes to and from wherever it is that you need to go. Now, speaking of that big winter storm that we had on Sunday night into Monday morning, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb addressed the city of Cleveland today and said that he inherited a broken system and he does plan to fix the city's snow removal plan. The city of Cleveland was definitely criticized and said that they should have been better prepared to handle the snow removal. So a video was posted on the city's social medias today of Mayor Bibb, and he said that the city did definitely use every truck, snowplow, and driver available, but still was not enough. And that's what we heard from a lot of people, a lot of you telling us that, and a lot of you telling Mayor Bibb and the rest of the city that. Here's the quote from him. "I inherited a broken system that needs significant overhaul and investment. I heard you. We need a new snow removal plan to ensure that we are better prepared for the next storm." He said that his number one priority is the safety of all Clevelanders. He said, "I heard your comments, your concerns, and your frustrations. I'm frustrated too. For too long, we've neglected to invest in delivering high-quality, basic city services." Here are the numbers. Here's how it broke down. On Monday, the city said that it used 48 trucks, 12 road raiders, and 13 small plows to clear the roadways. Now, when there are between 6 to 12 inches of snow, it takes crews anywhere from 1 full day to 2 full days, 24 to 48 hours to plow the entire city. The city of Cleveland got 15 inches of snow in the storm that came down Sunday night into Monday morning. The city says that's the largest snowfall in a single day in some time. I can speak to my experience with that. I posted photos on my social media. I did not shovel my driveway until several days into the snowstorm. Tuesday night, I believe it was, when we finally got out there and shoveled it, and it took us about an hour and a half to do it. But before that, couldn't have done it if I wanted to because I couldn't get down my street. It did take a while for them to get to my particular part of the city, but they did get to it, and then the street was cleared, and then I was able to shovel that driveway. So Mayor Bibb says he has a plan, and we will not be experiencing these problems with future snowfalls. Now, let's take a look at what's coming for us when we talk about the future. Very, very cold temperatures are here, and they will be here for a couple days. Our 3 News meteorology team, Holly Strano, she says the high today is for 35 degrees, but we won't be getting out of the low. The average high for today, is 35 degrees, but today we're not getting out of the low to the mid-20s, and the bitter cold is going to stick around for a while too. Friday, there will be a little bit of sunshine. Colder temperatures will be in the high 20 degrees, and then we stay cold into the next week. Also, chances for more snow. Now, our 3 News meteorologist Matt Wintz said it has been a while that we have stayed above 0 degrees for the last 1,085 days. That's a long stretch. That's more than 3 years, I believe. If not, it's right there on the mark of it. He says that streak continues tonight on Thursday. Friday night into Saturday, though, that could be a different story. We could get down below 0 for lots of inland locations and perhaps even at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. So have your coats and your gloves and your scarves and your hats ready. I will tell you this, a scarf is the key to warmth. That's what I found in my experience. So get bundled up. Now let's take a look at those latest COVID-19 numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. Today we saw 21,664 new reported cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Our positivity rate for COVID cases is at 29.4%. That means for all the COVID-19 tests being done, 29.4% of those are coming back positive. Now remember, this data does not necessarily include all of those at-home COVID-19 tests that people are taking, so think about that when we look at these numbers, okay? The total number of deaths related to COVID-19 here in Ohio is now 31,245. Right now there are 5,730 people in the hospital being treated for COVID-19, and out of that, 1,170 of them are being treated in an ICU. Now, today there was a press conference hosted by Ohio Department of Health Director Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff Talked about several different things. We're going to hit a few of those highlights for you. Of course, we've got the full press conference on WKYC.com. But what we learned today is that the Ohio National Guard is shifting its resources because the Ohio National Guard has found that testing in Akron and Cleveland isn't as in demand as it was. So that is allowing the National Guard to redirect resources to new testing locations in other parts of the state of Ohio. To date, right now, more than 2,000 members of the National Guard have been deployed to help with the medical teams throughout the state. That's since Governor DeWine ordered their help last month. Now, in terms of the cases that we're seeing, there are signs of improvement, but as we just said, with those case numbers in the 21,000s, the cases do still remain high. Here is what Dr. Vanderhoff said. Statewide hospitalizations reached a pandemic high earlier this month. They've been slowly declining for the last 10 days. But remember, they're slowly declining from a pandemic high. So we're coming down, but from a very high place. He says that drop has been the steepest in Northeast Ohio, where hospitalizations have fallen by as much as 24% in the Cleveland area this past week. Now, the positive signs, though, are also coupled with reality. We have to look at this in terms of the entire picture. He said that the Omicron tidal wave, cases are still on the rise in some areas, and health services are still very stressed. Here's a quote from Dr. Vanderhoff. While overall hospitalizations for COVID-19 are trending downward, just yesterday we had our second highest day for hospital admissions on record. Remember, I said they're trending downward, but we started up here, so we're going down from a really high point, okay? He said, despite encouraging signs, our hospitals remain strained. Here's something else we learned in that press conference today. FEMA has approved a medical response team for Summa Health in the Akron area in the middle of this COVID-19 surge. He said they're waiting details concerning what that team will look like and exactly what that means. Our 3 News' Sarah Shookman was in that press conference and she asked for more details. Dr. Vanderhoff said that they are happy to learn that FEMA will be here to give some resources to the Summa Health system, but no additional details at that time. Of course, as soon as we get that information, we will be sure to bring that to you. Now, we also have another update from our senior health correspondent, 3 News' Monica Robbins, who had undergone another surgery for a brain tumor. So this is 1 month after her second surgery. We're getting this update from her. She shared on social media. She says the incision has healed and it looks pretty good. There's some swelling, but it's not worse than what she had with her initial surgery. Here is a bit of downside, though. She says the scar is stopping her eyelid from closing all the way. So it's causing a lot of pain and some issues with her eyesight. She also says there's significant nerve damage, and she says, let's just say it hasn't been fun, but she says we don't need to hear her whine or complain. She says she's not sharing this information for sympathy. She just wants to be real, and she's definitely kept it very real and been very open about her experience throughout her journey with a brain tumor. She did say that she will find her way and that everyone has something going on and we're all traveling our paths, but she said her doctors also told her that this procedure bought her a little bit of time and she will have to deal with the tumors again. She says next week she'll be following up with doctors to find out what's next for her, and here's a direct message from Monica Robbins. I'm going to read it to you. For those of you who've already dropped the resolutions or, like me, haven't even started them yet, don't beat yourself up over it. Every day, hour, or minute is a brand new slate to start again. Just don't quit. So in the midst of everything, providing a little bit of inspiration for us. We will be sure to keep you updated when Monica shares those updates with us. And of course, you can follow her on her social media channels as well, where she's sharing what's going on with her journey. Now, Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield also shared what's going on with his journey. He just had his shoulder surgery yesterday. It was around 5 o'clock when we got an update from him. It was a video that was 1 minute and 10 seconds long. And in it, he thanked Dr. Limpus Vosti and the team for taking good care of him. He said it was an overall success. He says it's one of the steps that he needs to do to get back to his true self. He said the year has not been easy, and it wasn't easy on him or his family. He said he appreciated everyone reaching out and the prayers, and that it definitely didn't go unnoticed. And here's a direct quote from Baker Mayfield. Now it's on the way to the road to recovery. It's not going to be an easy one, but it's going to be one that I'm going to remember, and it's going to be a special one. So I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much, but this is not the end of my story. It's just going to be one of those little things that I'll look back and remember that's one of those challenges and adversity that I'm going to try to take advantage of, and it'll make me a better person. He said he is really looking forward to getting back to himself. Remember, this surgery is because he had a torn labrum. It started in week 2. It got aggravated in week 6 of the NFL season. It was in the left shoulder, the non-throwing shoulder. Here is what we have learned from the Browns organization. They say they expect full recovery to take between 4 to 6 months, and they expect to see Baker doing some light throwing in April. He should be able to participate in off-season programs on a limited basis, and full recovery expected by the start of training camp. We are wishing you the very best, Baker Mayfield, and very hopeful to see what comes in 2022. Now, Kyrie Irving, former Cleveland Cavalier, he is paying for his response to a heckling Cavaliers fan when the Cavs were playing the Nets here earlier this week. He used the F word when calling a fan ungrateful as that fan was heckling him, and he said, I got y'all a championship, and still ungrateful with the expletive thrown in there. So he's now been fined $25,000. So it's going to cost him for making that comment. Now, that was a reference to his game-winning three-point shot in the NBA 2016 Finals when the Cavs won their first NBA title. Let's give some credit where credit is due. Without that three-point win, there is no title. It does take a whole team to get there, but let's just keep that in mind when we are having our very short memories here as Cleveland sports fans. And one more thing before you go. If you've been following me on social media, you know that I am on a quest to do a social experiment to see how much money you got to spend to win the Powerball lottery in hopes of carrying out my New Year's resolution, which is to put a dent in my quite large, significant student loan debt. So that's what we're doing. Yesterday was week 2. I'm doing the drawing every single Wednesday, and I live streamed the drawing. It was a bit of an adventure, a little bit of a technical issue. My power nap leading into the Powerball drawing put a little bit of a delay on that. But it is happening every Wednesday at around 11 p.m. on my Instagram page, and the results are in. Week 2 didn't match a single number. That's okay. I don't need to match all of them. I don't need to win the jackpot, but it would be nice to see something come through there. So as of right now, net results, I am down $6 with 0 in winnings and $6 in expenses over the first 2 weeks. I'll be talking about it on What's New Today at 5 p.m., so tune in. If you don't have regular cable access, you can watch on the WKYC app. That'll be around 5:10 or so. So between 5:10 and 5:30 is when I'll be on talking about this adventure that I'm on. Okay, that's it for your 3 News Now update today for Thursday, January 20th. Everyone stay safe out there. Remember, we are in that winter weather advisory for 4 counties here in the Northeast Ohio area, and I will see you back here tomorrow.